Now, symbols in tarot and in general also, they have a universal meaning which transcends over language and cultural barriers. They have been used throughout history as a means of communication, and their nature, their they are archetypes that allows them to resonate with people from various backgrounds. So it makes them very convenient, when you are reading from tarot and then and using symbols. So what happens here? We are tapping into a universal language, which makes these cards accessible to everyone. I mean, irrespective of their culture, their country, their language, anyone can interpret these cards. So, how they are connecting with everyone? Symbols. What they do is they tap into our subconscious mind and intuition. So when you look onto the look at tarot card, they evoke a lot of personal uh, and personal associations, and even on collective level, triggering some insights and connections that just go beyond our conscious thought. So reading cards with more symbols can actually enhance that intuitive process and facilitate a stronger connection to the cards. uh, each symbol has its own meaning, and when symbols are combined on tarot with other symbols within a tarot card spread, they actually create a complex map of insights. And reading with cards from a lot of symbols, they give you a comprehensive understanding of what's happening in a client's life or situation. So what happens when we choose cards with less symbols, or when we choose cards which have a different imagery from the classic Rider Waite or Marseille tarot? So what happens there? So as an expert, I mean, you can ignore this advice, but as a beginner, how I would explain the situation, it would be like, so for example, it would be just I'll just use an example. So I'll try making it short. So yeah, so we have seven of swords here. So what's happening here? Now swords is it's your thinking, it's your mental energy, what's going in your mind, you see. So and intelligence. So what happens here is that you see a person sneaking five swords out of seven swords, and they are looking back as if no one has seen them. In the back of this card, there are some tents, and there are some people sitting in distance. Now this means that these could be travelers tents, and there are people, and this person, what they're doing is trying to steal something, and just like sneaking into somewhere. So it's a movement, you see, even the feet, there's some movement, there's something's going on here. And similarly, if you see this card, this is a Dulac tarot. So what's happening here? A person is carrying something, and you see some water here, and it looks like a river shore, and they have been carrying something, and they are being washed by someone over here. So it could be that a person is trying to sneak something here, and somebody saw them. This could be one meaning. Or a person is doing something, they're carrying some stuff, and someone is watching them, and who could be sneaking afterwards. Now so there are two meanings, from one meaning here to two meanings here, because in this card, the people in distance, they're unaware of what's happening. And here also, in the second meaning, it could be that somebody is trying to sneak something, and this person is unaware of what's happening. Now it could represent your conscious mind, that you are trying to do something, but then there is something which is hidden in your subconscious or unconsciously, that something is bothering you, or maybe it's someone in your life. Now similarly, if we see the same card in Dungeons and Dragons tarot deck. Now here we see a person with a mask and with a sword. So the only thing which is and the person is also holding something in like something like a globe in one of the hands, or maybe like a the crystal ball, where you see some which usually psychics have. So what's happening here, you see, just you see a mask, that means something is hidden, something is but then the whole but when there was a movement in these cards, so there's a movement. And even in Dulac tarot there is a movement. So that movement is changed with a person who's just sitting there. So it changes the whole meaning. How it changes, movement is something is right now happening. Something is happening right now. It's moving. There's some movement. It's constantly happening somewhere. And here, when there is nothing, there's no movement, a person is sitting, it becomes a bit of difficult to see what's going on. Now with an expert reader, they will be able to situation, because interpret the situation, because obviously if you are doing it for years, it's easy for you. But with a beginner, what happens is that if you are not getting cues from symbols, if you're not having a support from your tarot cards, symbols, then you won't be able to tap into different perspectives, you see. So what tarot cards, they're meant to say push your intuition, like, enhance your intuition. And here your intuition, it just like stops on the literal meaning of the card. So, what will you do in such situation? You will actually be sticking to a literal meaning, and you might not be able to see the complete situation, or interpret the complete situation in terms of symbols, in terms of combining symbols from various cards. So, and I have a similar example. So, this is, I have Five of Swords here, sorry, Five of Pentacles here. So, what's happening? It's a church window. We see a pentacle sign, and two people, they are moving in cold harsh winter because it's snowing, and they are moving. You see, a person is injured. So usually this card is there when you have experienced some kind of loss, or you are experiencing some kind of loss. And same thing is happening in Dulac tarot. So we see a church, we see a window. Now it's Five of Pentacles, so it's written over there. And then we see a figure here. It looks like a fairy figure which is trying to move. It's going. And now if you look closely, the expression here, it is not a very comfortable expression. So you see a person moving here. And in if you look very very carefully, you see another person here. They're holding a, if you look at in the first glance, they look like someone is skiing over there, but then they're holding on to something. So cards meanings is actually quite close to Rider Waite deck. And now same card in Dungeons and Dragons. So you see a figure here, and they are holding a staff and wand, and then there are some coins over there. There is some fire. So from cold hard winter to fire, sign of fire, it changes the entire meaning of the card. And if you are trying to read from this card, your meanings won't be matching with the what is there, the true meanings of the cards. So which might not give you right readings or right interpretation. So what I'm saying here is that be very careful when you are choosing your tarot decks. And this will help you if you're sticking to the meanings which are closer to the original text, and it will help you to get your readings very accurate. But if you're not, then you might be reading from learned meanings, literal meanings, which might not be applicable to various other interpretations which you could do with if you have the correct cards. And it may also you may also be projecting your thoughts and your personal feelings onto readings if you don't have the right kind of cards. I might make another video on projection later. So this is what I was trying to say. I mean, this was the gist of it. I hope you like it, and I hope it's clear to you. And if you have any questions or anything to say, you can always drop me a DM. Thank you very much.